Attendance meeting of August 26th, 2020. Bob, each member has to state your name, correct?
Correct.
Please state your name. Mike, go ahead.
Mike Conley here.
Jim Long. Karen,
Susan Pinsky.
good. Karen
Karen Moffett here.
and Johnny.
John Kirish.
All right, does that count as our roll call too, Bob?
No, now we need to do roll call. Commissioner Long,
Here,
Commissioner Karish,
Here.
Commissioner Zapinski,
Here.
Commissioner Moffett,
Here.
Commissioner Connolly,
Here.
and Director Fleck.
good. All right, if everybody doesn't mind today, because we got two in cars, we're gonna skip the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not demeaning America in any way, but we're gonna skip today, okay? Bob, let's start off on our COVID operations. Fill us in.
The big topic of conversation has been for the last few weeks and continues to be this week, our extended e-learning program. We had a survey which indicated 50 families alone from District 201 having interest. We didn't know what District 60 was going to look like, so we proceeded with it. We have, as of today, 21 kids from District 201, and I'm sorry, I was doing it sum total. We have 13 kids registered from District 201, and then District 60 being delayed a week, we've had a bunch roll in this week. We are at 16 kids from District 60, so a total of 29. District 60 starts on Monday. We have a waiting list started now for anybody that is still interested. We only have one or two individuals that have called in since. There is nobody signed up for the early bird program. So we open the doors at 8:30 a.m. The kids start rolling in. Some kids show up at 8:30, some show up at 5 to 9. Program starts at 9 a.m. to 3. And then we have 7 or 8 kids still from 201 sticking around for the traditional kids club. Now remember, last year we had 60 kids in our after-school kids club program.
Yeah.
Dynamics are just different for all families right now.
So what's our max, Bob?
Our max for this program right now,
Yeah,
36
okay.
for this program.
36 for both schools or just Manning?
So
201.
total right now is what we can accommodate at the community center. So we are not using Manning School because the numbers were not big enough to warrant the use of Manning School. We're just doing everything at the community center. If parents change their mind and our wait list grows, then we'll go back talking to District 201 and the use of Manning School. But right now it's just not needed. It's easier for us to control. And we're running this with a split staff right now between our full-time staff and then during the day, only 2 part-time staff. So we have Shelby South from last year, who was one of our key people in Kids Club. She's back. And then a young gal by name of Katie Z, who worked day camp and was one of our top counselors for day camp this summer.
So did you say we have a wait list? I don't understand if we have only 29.
We have a wait list because it's a staffing issue. So how the rooms are broken out. Right now, we're at capacity upstairs, rooms 1 through 4. We need that wait list to grow to open up room 6 and 7 downstairs, which now they're totally separated. And our big challenge right now is finding staff. In fact, we have, take a step back, if you go back to the fitness club and what's happened here in the offices, we've lost a lot of part-time staff who have not come back to work. Filling positions right now at the fitness club, kids club, and in the office is proving to be very difficult. We've got ads out on Indeed, Facebook, and we're just not getting responses. And that's a problem everywhere. So many people have not gone back to work, or they're choosing to stay on unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
with those incentives, that extra money to stay on unemployment, that's a problem everywhere. We're hearing that in all trades.
Oh, okay, I get it. So once the wait list gets up to a certain number, it warrants another class, you'll create another class. Kind of.
We will.
All right.
And if we can find some additional staff, because now we're just spreading ourselves thin on 2 floors in the building. So that's where we're at right now. It's positive. It's going well. And fortunately, there's a little bit of, because of the learning curve with this, District 201 started this week, and then District 60 is Monday. So we're working some bugs out this week. Even little things of just Joe moving around the Wi-Fi in the room so it just works better, functions better for the devices that are in there. Little things that we're seeing too, where we're making sure we're in contact with all the teachers at all the elementary schools so they can communicate back to us, because we did have at one of the schools, the first and second grade, or kindergarten and first grade teachers changed their remote learning schedule. We were not aware of it. Kind of threw a monkey wrench in the day. We're all back on the same page. We've talked to the principals and the superintendents, and all those teachers are now in communication with us. And we're getting out ahead of the curve with District 60, is our staff is going to do, through Zoom, kind of a remote training with some of the curriculum staff at District 60 to help us be better prepared for next week. And again, we're not teaching the kids, we're proctors, but with the little ones, and this is where it's difficult, the little ones, it's just a challenge to expect them to sit down in front of a monitor for 3 hours and be educated. We're noticing a significant difference in the attention span and productivity level from 2nd grade to and 5th grade versus K through 1. And we're bringing in an element of day camp to it. Right now, they're going out to the picnic shelter to have lunch every day. We're mixing things up and giving them the best experience we can. And so far, nothing but compliments from the parents. They appreciate what we're doing. We're keeping our staff occupied. So that's where we're at with the extended e-learning program. Yes, Jim.
My understanding then, each room you maybe have like 6 kids in?
Okay, rooms 1 and 2 can be divided with the old curtain divider. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so room 1, 8 kids. Room 2, 8 kids. So yeah, each room then gets 8 kids. That's our max. And
Okay.
we're using 6-foot tables.
So you can fit 8 kids to a room.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put 32 upstairs, and then your downstairs, you have.
We can do another 6 downstairs.
Are you going to use the dance room?
No.
No, just the rooms by the doors.
Yeah. Let me quickly touch on the dance studio, because it has a purpose right now. On Monday, we started the electrical rough-in for the HVAC, which is going smoothly, working very well. We've got a plan put together. We met before all this started. And that is a staging ground right now for the electricians that are in there. We've protected the floor. Everything's down, covered. And that's where they're operating out of, is their home base right now. That's going along smoothly. Dance is the 3rd week of September. Dance is supposed to start too. So we're going to need that back for dance. And that's another reason we can't use it for this program.
Bob, is there could you use the gym in any capacity where you put the divider up, and you could really do some great spacing in there, couldn't you? Or
well, let me tell you this next caveat, and we're doing everything we can between us and the HVAC contractor to condense that window of time when we're going to be shut down. But when we shut down, we remove that unit off, disconnect it, and they put the new one on. They still have to connect sheet metal and ductwork. There's some electrical connections that still have to be made, even though we're doing the rough-in. We could be without airflow in that building for 2 weeks. Our ace in the hole is the gymnasium.
Okay, so you
And
could always use
We've
that.
already, yeah, we're talking, and now I'm looking at some alternative options that will allow us to continue to operate. Do we want to rent some temporary units to help us keep those spaces open? It may not be worth it. Our option is between the admin center and then, of course, again, the gymnasium becomes the new space. And we divide it, just as you said, in half. We don't have a need to open it right now, and we don't have the demand there. But during that period of time, we're without HVAC in that building. That is what we're going to have to do. So we've already started that discussion as well.
How far out is that, Bob? Is it going to be in September where you might not really need air yet? Like if,
That's exactly the plan, is to do this in September with the most minimal amount of heat or AC,
Okay.
the second half of December. But the
September.
challenge in regards to COVID is lack of fresh air, makeup air pulled in through the units, having stagnant air in there. So the CDC has certain requirements for the amount of makeup air that is ideal for the best health for
Are
a
the
building.
kids
And
wearing
we wouldn't
masks?
have that at all.
Bob, are the kids wearing masks all day then?
They are, except for when they go outside or we take them to the playground. Mhm.
Okay, very good. And our staff is wearing masks and,
They are, yep. And there's a coordinated pickup and drop off plan to this. And every kid is, just like we did for day camp, ask them the questions, they take their temperature, it's all written down on a spreadsheet, and we keep a log of that information.
yeah, and then downstairs, so if we do end up going downstairs, I'm sure you're gonna set up a little better, some security, so bad guys couldn't come in that back door down there?
But we have, yeah, and we have full-time staff with them all the time.
Okay, all right,
Mhm.
very good.
Okay. Other programs are still limited. We've got a number of programs out there right now. Registration is limited. Some of them may be canceled in the end. We'll keep you posted on that. Signups are not done yet. It's looking like athletics, for the most part, are going to be pushed, specifically basketball, till January. So travel basketball tryouts now have been moved to October, early October. And we're still not certain we're going to be able to run a season for travel basketball. And it's not because of us. We have the luxury of having our own gyms and a good relationship with the schools. There's going to be a lot of programs, all these independent programs, who are at the mercy of schools and other facilities as renters. They may not have the ability to practice or play at all. If we get into that situation, I've already thrown this out to Dustin. What if we talk between us and Oak Brook Park District if there's a way to just make all the games happen at our location? So we're always looking for solutions and ways to keep this going. But so much of what we do in this respect, we're at the mercy of these other programs to be able to conduct the season. So the verdict's still out on that. We'll wait and see what happens there, but travel basketball October 11th and biddy basketball always starts now after January 1 anyways. Share some revenues with you. Some of the rec programs, and this is a combination of kids club and athletics. Last year, for the end of August all the way through December, we had revenues of $93,000. This year, and mind you, we haven't done anything with basketball yet. We're at roughly $11,000 right now as of today. So we're down, we know that. But we took that in consideration when creating the budget. So in terms of looking at the budget, none of these are surprises. We planned for this. Another one, I'll give you an example. Day camp. The revenue for day camp this year, I budgeted at $50,000 for revenue. I kept the expenses high at $62,000. That'd be a loss of $12,000. We made $20,610 on day camp this year.
Because we didn't have to hire as many people.
For day camp?
Yeah.
No, we hired what we needed. We did not.
I meant your expenses are way down. You planned on 62. Somehow you got it down a lot less than that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we controlled our expenses. And I was budgeting for the worst case scenario with a lot of these programs.
You didn't take field trips? Was that part of?
Well, and that's a part of it. We were not allowed to take any field trips. So we didn't have that expense. We didn't have the bus expense. We didn't have the expense of tickets and pools and all of the fees for Clearden Hills pool. None of those things were included. So those are many of the numbers for the rec programs. Forecasting for the fall. These are the, do we take action now? Do we wait? Future events. First one that we probably do need to make a decision on, because now is the time we would be planning and preparing, and actually in mid-September is when the guys start building for it, and that's Haunted Forest. The reality is I don't see how we can operate the same as we've done in the past. How do you put 18 to 20 people on a trailer at the end of the event? I know the village has already canceled the downtown trick-or-treat trail. They're not doing it this year. Our recommendation is that we find a solution to this where we try to have a fall event out there, but we recreate it and we do something that's more of a walk through the woods, and maybe combine that with some of the other things Dustin was trying to do in the fall, like the pumpkin flotilla, and we build upon that. And we eliminate the big lines that are always there at Haunted Trail, and then getting on the hayride in close proximity to each other.
How does everybody feel? You know, we got to react to what's going on. I doubt if we should do what we've been doing. We'll be out of this hopefully by next year. So I would say, Bob, modify to whatever you can. I think it also, you know, our staff is really thin, as Bob has pointed out here to us tonight. The time that they spend on setting up for that, doing all that is huge. And it probably would be good for us to keep our staff working on what's important, and that probably would be questionable whether we should even be doing it, bringing those people together. So, and I think, don't you usually do about 1,000 people through that?
Yeah, up to 800 to 1,000.
So, and everybody all agree? Anybody got any issue? I would say, Bob, try to come up with something much simpler and not tie up our staff, and if it meant not to do anything, I'm okay with that. I think everybody else is too. Just if you can do something that's reasonable and won't break the bank and will give some outlet for people, I'm all for it. Go ahead.
Okay.
So.
Another one that's creates a large group in the gym, and that is the Halloween Fun Fair for the little kids.
I would say that falls in the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, anybody differs, please speak up.
No,
I think
No,
we
I
don't
think
need
you're,
to bring people together, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost out of this. We're going to be out of this soon. So let's,
Okay. And
everybody agree? Just give me a thumbs up.
yeah, I don't see how you can do anything at this point.
okay.
I don't think the numbers are going to change by September, October, so.
Okay.
I will
And then-
comment on that. Mike said that. I don't know if, I'm sure you guys are all getting our stuff from the Illinois Association and from our attorney and everything. The governor just
Yeah.
modified Will County and changed restaurants only can be outdoors, no bars. etc. They did some revision on sports teams also. I think baseball was questionable. I think baseball's kind of staying, but they're going to come out with more defined things for us if we go up, continue to go up, Bob. I think our county kind of has been flat for a while. We're lucky. I think Will County is like at 8, and we're like at 4 something. So hopefully we won't get too many more restrictions. I know we're doing fall ball in baseball, and I know we probably have a pretty good sign up.
We do.
On numbers.
Well, they do.
Yeah. So
Games are set to start September 5th for fall ball. It's going to be active around here, which is going to be great. If you recall, though, the bleachers are now an extension of the dugouts to allow this to happen.
which means what we're telling all parents, bring your own chairs and sit away from the people near the game. We're not going to, the bleachers are not going to be for visitors, only for the kids. Some of the places that I've gone to, they put X's on the bleachers so that that's where you sit, and they are setting you in that 6-foot distancing and stuff. I think Bob was going to maybe try to do that. So we are somewhat complying with what the governor wants us to do. But the only thing we should do is have Park Patrol maybe be there to help people and explain to people, and maybe tell Little League to make sure they notify all the parents to bring their own chairs. Most of them are doing it. Most of these kids play travel ball, and all the travel ball has been that way pretty much all summer, except at our, I noticed at our Ty Warner Park, parents were sitting in the bleachers, but.
I prepared a memo that was sent to WIBA, and WIBA disseminated that.
Okay,
to
very
their
good.
team. But practices did start this week. They're moving ahead, and you know they've got really strong numbers this fall, so that's positive.
Yeah.
I'm glad for them. And then this is one we don't want to take action on yet, but we probably do know the answer, and that's what's going to happen with the holidays activities, from the craft bazaar to lunch with Santa, breakfast with Santa, Lions Club breakfast. They're probably same thing. It's going to be real difficult to run these, but we don't know what 3 months is going to look like from now. So I recommend we just keep that on the horizon. Don't have to do anything right now.
Yeah, we don't have to decide till it gets closer.
Okay.
And Bob, I guess what I think everybody would encourage you to do, look for something that we could do maybe over time that wouldn't be bringing a lot of people at once. I don't know. You think of, and maybe if you could do more things outdoor, if we have Santa drive around in a sleigh or whatever.
And that is one of the ideas, is we take Santa to the neighborhoods and to the families.
You know what to do.
Okay, let's move on to fitness club. We're seeing the activity pick up at the fitness club, but we're continuing to see changes in the membership numbers. In fact, even though it's not September, we've already got a number of people that have said, come September, drop me off. So here's where we are since March. Total numbers as of today, and this includes September. We have 49 new memberships, but we've lost 118 for a net loss of 69 memberships. That's where we're at. Expected.
Well expected. I thought we'd lose more. I would have thought we would have lost. What does 69 represent on memberships? What percent? How many memberships do we have total, Bob? 800? 900?
Oh, we went between the high 800s and 800. You know, it would go up and down throughout the year.
And
Sometimes into the 700s.
What was our net loss?
69.
So we're under 10% then. That's not bad. I thought we were going to get hit worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Did our costs go down at all, Bob, or no?
Well, yeah, we did not. We were not open in June. We opened mid-July, and when we opened, we did a lot of that with full-time staff. So our wages have been down considerably. Our utility expenses have been down. So yes, just like in the recreation office, at the golf course, we've been controlling expenses. We've done a pretty good job at that. And we'll see as time goes on how that offsets the revenue loss.
Yeah, so if they both go down by a certain percentage, then the income is not that much different, right?
That's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, how's our new guy working out, by the way?
Really well. I mean, the first 2 weeks for him is, you know, he's kind of cutting his teeth on everything, and it's more about he's getting to know the members, working well with staff, but he's getting to know the operation. He and Joel have been spending a tremendous amount of time together. And, you know, it's going to be a good month before he really starts to spread his wings a little bit more. He's got a lot of ideas, but he knows right now he just needs to soak it all up. And, you know, everybody is getting along with him well. He's excited to be here, and we're happy to have him. So we're expecting good things from him.
How about your marketing guy? Are you working on that?
We just had a meeting about that today. We're looking to set interviews for September 3rd and 4th. And then after Labor Day, bring back the second round of interviews for the final 3 candidates. So yes, we're moving along. And I know our new guy is hopefully going to be doing some kind of active PE fitness type things with Westview Junior High and the PTA over there. I know Karen had a conversation with Chris. So this is an opportunity not only to help the schools, but we're going to get Chris's face out there and have him do a few things there for Westview Junior High.
Very good.
Golf course. We were rocking and rolling at the golf course, and this week we've seen a change for the first time. It's a combination. One, junior golf activity is over. So we don't have that play all day long. I think the excessive heat has definitely kept some people away. The numbers have been down. This is the first time where, you know, it was easy to get a tee time. We'll see how that goes. But we've got the high school activity has picked up and filled some gaps for us. So this week, competition has started for the girls' golf teams. Westmont and Lyle just played last night. Willowbrook plays at our course as well. So we've got that going on, that helping. But otherwise, the golf course has done well. The numbers have been up, and, you know, very pleased with how that's operated right now.
I will tell you this, I know someone that used to play at Downers Grove, now is playing at ours, and just gave me the greatest compliments that our course blows away Downers Grove, even though they have longer holes. And it was a woman. She said ours is our greens are beautiful. So there you go.
Course is in good shape, and I've tried to get out a little bit with my boys before they went back to school and check out a few, you know, little variety, play a couple other courses. And it's not because I'm biased. The customer service, the attention to detail, the staff making sure that we're following the guidelines is far better at our course than in many of the other courses I've seen. So
I think
credit
you
to
are
those guys.
but that's okay.
All right. That's all I've got for the golf course. Any questions for me?
What happened to Sue?
I'm here.
Oh, Sue,
Yeah,
I saw your name down there,
For some
but we don't
reason-
need your picture. I didn't know if you knew that.
yeah, for some reason, like
Okay,
randomly,
I'm glad you
you
were
know,
in.
I don't know, there's
Um,
high tension lines there, maybe it's open up.
I know we got 2 in cards, so we don't have to dally unless, anybody have a question? Karen, anything? Mike? Johnny?
I'm good.
Yeah, I had a couple questions. So Bob, you mentioned the employees. Number one, I'd like to find out a little bit more about Lorna. I think that's really odd that she left us. I mean, no one just leaves a job without, and like you wrote in your email, suddenly or just, something must have set it off. And kind of curious what that is. And I'm also curious, when you said that we're light on staff, do we have employees that are on unemployment that have been offered to come back and are not coming back?
All right. Answer your first question, Lorna. It was, yes, an absolute unexpected outcome. We never saw it coming. We went through the HR process to look into this to see if there was something just as you're asking. In interviews with staff at the fitness club, she was getting along with everybody. Everyone liked her. Every time I was there, every time Joel was there, it was very positive. She was doing a great job. She's got very good customer service.
Right.
And we let her know that it was a huge help for having her come in and fill in at the fitness club. Not one person said that there was a confrontation, an issue, a challenge with any of the other staff there or members. It was a surprise to everybody. Lenore did everything she could to reach out, ask, just find out why, if she's okay. She never responded. Phone call, email, we've tried. We don't have any explanation for it, and it was completely out of the blue. Don't know.
Wow.
John, I was going to say, the only I know from the unemployment, if she reports to them that she couldn't work because of COVID and her age or whatever, she probably will qualify for the pandemic part of it. That was the $600 a week that didn't get renewed. That's why a lot of people are not going back to work. They're claiming they can't afford to get the illness, and they were getting the $600 a week was what everybody, when we get paid all of our employees, I didn't realize they could have gotten that. They probably would have made more money than what we were paying them. But you can't have a job. You have to not qualify, or you have to qualify because you can't go to work because you could get the illness. That you can get it. We see a lot of realtors, because we're self-employed, a lot of realtors have qualified and have gotten the pandemic money.
Okay.
To answer your second question, John,
Yes.
we do not have anybody who has been offered a job back still on unemployment. We've submitted or sent each and every one of them a letter offering them their job back, reinstating in tremendous detail what, when, how, and how much, and they were to accept or reject that offer. And we've had a number of people who, for COVID reasons, have chose not to come back to work. And we've had, and that's now out of our hands, and we reflect it that way, that they were accepted their job back, but they did not accept the job. And we submit that back to the Illinois Department of Labor. That's all we can do. And
Okay.
Then
I
they don't
just,
really
I got a
qualify
real,
for,
What, Sue?
they would fund for unemployment benefits or whatever, if they had the opportunity to work and then chose not to, unless it's directly COVID related.
That's I think
Is
what
that-
most are claiming,
Mhm.
that they can't work because of COVID, and they
I know.
will get the pandemic money. I'm just,
I think that was I think right now, Jim, though, that's withdrawn. And
there is no pandemic money. That's what expired, and that's what they're fighting over.
understood. But
Some are thinking that it may come back. It was 600 a week, and the
Right.
big complaint has been 600 a week, which is 2,400 a month cash, was too much.
Way too much.
Yes.
Way too much. Like my daughter made more money being furloughed than she did working,
But that's
like way more.
that's why it stopped.
Okay, I understand all that. I guess I would just encourage Bob, our director, to, because there's resources for us as a business. You know, I have a problem paying unemployment for people that if we offer them the job and they turn it down, we do have some recourse to contest that. And I think that we should look into that.
Well, can you tell, Bob, or no? Can you tell if they're still on unemployment or not?
Don't they give you a report, Bob?
We get a report.
We got to pay for it.
No, we should get a report telling us who is on, who were being charged against our account.
Right.
Correct, Bob?
John, we have been extremely proactive in being clear about who is still warranted to be on unemployment and who has been offered a job and rejected it. And we deny those claims. Sharon and I have regular discussions about it, and we are on top of it. We don't let it slip by.
Okay, because, all right. So that you would know if you're paying someone unemployment, because I've gone through it with employees that we've contested, and you actually have a hearing, and usually the business wins. I mean, if you offer them a job and they don't want to do it, it's up to them.
John?
There is an investigatory process to it, and Sharon, on numerous occasions, has collected the information and submitted it in defense of our position.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
John, I think what's happening though, regular unemployment is not what they are getting. If they claim it's COVID related, they are getting that pandemic 600 a week, which ended. We were not paying that 600. That came from the federal government.
Right.
Yeah, and it was my understanding that's over though, Jim.
Pardon?
It's my understanding that ended.
It expired before Congress took off for a month. So it expired back the early part of August. So right now people are not getting that. Now, if you follow on the internet, a lot of people are upset about it because there are people that took advantage of it. And then there's some guys that lost their job because of COVID, companies, whatever, and they needed that to survive. There are others. The bad thing about it was it did not have any bearing on how much income you were making before or after. So part-time people were getting the same 600 as a guy that used to have a job that made 80,000 a year. Both 600 a week.
Understood.
And that's why a lot of the lower paying people are opting not to go back to work because they can make $600 a week. But they have to claim that they can't work because of COVID, which the government's been pretty liberal on not making people go work under COVID, But I think I don't think they're getting their unemployment, the regular unemployment benefits that we're paying. I think if we offered them a job, I think we're off the hook. They refused it. They don't get it. I think all they're in it, if they are still collecting, all they're getting is the pandemic money, which, as you said, now stopped in early August. It isn't. And if it comes back, I think it's going to be minimal. Like maybe they were talking 300. They were talking about maybe making the state pay for half of it is what Trump would like to see done.
Illinois said today they're trying to sign on for the 300.
There you go. So
now let me take this, spin it a little bit, but talk about the other side of the coin. We're talking presently about unemployed or staff who were suspended, terminated because of COVID. Let's talk about staff that are working for us and factor in COVID. If they get sick, if somebody else gets sick and they need to quarantine, if the program shuts down because of COVID, we have to pay them for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
If we suspend a program just because we're suspending it, that's the only time we don't need to pay them.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think, Bob, what we would like a clarification, if you would look into it. If there is a report that tells us what employee, who is collecting unemployment against our account, it would be nice for us to get some of that information told to us. Is it 5 of the or is it 10, or is it none? If you offered them a job, I don't think they qualify for unemployment. That would be my interpretation of it.
And that's all I was saying in the big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say this, John, probably the government is more liberal with it than ever because of COVID. So.
They're still right and wrong.
Like that or not, I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
The Illinois Department of Employment Security is probably looking to help as many people as they can. There's good and there's bad in that. Unfortunately, we as an employer have to pay for every employee that works for us. But I'm guessing if you rejected going back to work when it was offered to you, that you probably don't get the regular unemployment. But Bob should be able to look that up for us and let us know.
Yeah, Sharon and I will work on that and obtain that information.
Send it to all of us and let us know.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Now, anything more? Any other questions of Bob? I know you guys all got stuff to do. I'm sorry it took so long.
Oh, I'm fine.
I'm fine too.
You're good.
Fine.
We meet in 2 weeks, our regular meeting, so we won't have any more remote unless some emergency crazy thing happened up, then I'd have Bob contact every and we'll meet again. But right now, I think our meeting will be in 2 weeks, right, Bob?
That is correct. I think it's
So
the
we'll
9th.
have a regular board meeting in 2 weeks, and remember, it's at 6 o'clock, and it will be at the office. I mean, at the admin center. And,
September 9th at 6 p.m.
okay, anything else? Anybody have anything else to bring up? Any question, anything?
Are any of you guys going to the natatorium tour on Saturday?
I
Yes.
think Karen's going.
Yeah, I think I sent something to you, Bob. I can work early, like maybe 10 to 12.
Okay.
Okay. I can do some. I'm not sure I can do all 4 hours. So I was wondering, Karen, are you going to be there all 4 hours?
We still don't have a lease, so I won't be going.
Yeah, I'm not going.
The day we
I'll
get a
go-
lease, I'm going into the natatorium.
I could be there all 4 hours. I'll go, and if you don't
Okay.
need, send me home.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Yeah.
just
All
my
right.
position is this is a big thing, a big facility, a great improvement for Westmont. We are connected to it, so I want to be out in public at all times. I want to be positive about it and share the correct information.
I know, but I'm struggling. Bob, I understand what you said, but I'm struggling with it a little bit because it is a private business at the end of the day. And for us as a park district that'd be like going to Long Realty and working that and opening the doors and welcoming people, telling them about Long Realty.
Thank you.
You know, I'm having a hard time. Our aspect when the lease isn't signed, but once it's signed, we're landlords, and we just run a program that we need to move our programs, you know, and I think we're doing more for them than we're getting out of it. I don't know if it's right as a taxpayer, but.
Well, actually, I think it's very much right for a number of reasons. One, because the agreement is an affiliation. We are affiliated with them in terms of providing programming. They're running it, they're hiring everybody, they're doing the instruction, whatever that may be. But it is coming through the Westmont Park District to our residents at a 30% discount. We have an obligation to make sure that's done appropriately with our best interest in mind, protecting our image. The public isn't going to care about the nuances of it. They're just gonna know that there's a Westmont Park District connection on our property.
Bob, the only thing I would ask you to do, we have these meetings. You should have brought it to our board and said, listen, we're gonna have this date, and is everybody okay with it? I think it's something I'd like to have a discussion
Jim,
about.
in
I
all
think
due
John
respect,
brings up- Excuse me, let me finish. I think John brings up a valid point. We got to be careful. They are not us. She runs her business. We have some rights there. As you know how I stand on it, I want a lease. I want in writing approved by all parties involved in this. And I'm a little, I also agree. I wish you wouldn't have. Be careful on how far we go with this lady right now. Okay? Because we really don't have any programs going with her. We're just promoting her grand opening or whatever she wants.
Well-
And I got concerns about it.
well, the date for the tour and the idea of the tour probably has been presented at least 3 times. It's been in a report and it's been talked about at meetings.
Okay. All right.
So are we gonna be handing out like flyers saying
No.
the Westmont Park District, these
No.
are gonna be our programs, this is what's happening?
We're going to be talking about it and they're going to get to see the facility,
Which
but
doesn't have
no
our name.
informational material.
Doesn't have our name on it, Bob.
So is she gonna have staff there doing this, or is this all us?
Her staff are giving the tours. We're not giving the tour.
Okay.
I'm just welcoming people and telling them about the relationship and the history, and then they're going to swoop them off and do the tour.
Okay, we're all good.
It's
I-
good, like I just shared, Bob, I'm not, please, I don't want you to be upset, and I'm not trying to upset you. But I'm being honest, saying I'm struggling with the concept that we gotta be careful, it's my opinion, so. That's all, thank you for listening.
All right, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Could I have a second?
Second.
I'll
Second.
second.
Seconded by Mike. Roll call, Bob?
Commissioner Moffett,
Yes.
Commissioner Connolly,
Yes.
Commissioner Long,
Yes.
Commissioner Karish,
Yes.
Commissioner Zapinski.
Yes.
Everybody have a wonderful, have a nice time at the Saturday. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Okay, be well, you guys. Take care.
Yeah,
Thank
be
you.
well, everyone.
Stay safe.
All right.